Cool. Well, hey, we're back.
Back. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Again.
Happy Friday, several weeks, almost months after our last episode.
It's been a couple months, a few months.
We're busy. We're busy people.
Yeah, we've been bad.
Well, but
We're,
great at the same time. I think we've gotten
we're
a lot of really cool things done the last couple weeks. We're
we're
like,
working.
we're
Yeah. As far as the videos, yeah, we've been neglecting videos. So
yeah, we'll make up
anyway,
for it. We'll make up for it.
I'm having a mango flavored electrolyte drink because I did not know we were going to record, so I already finished my beer. Which I could have sworn I had this on our on our show before, but because this is one of my all-time favorites as far as Belgian affordable Belgian beers here in the States. This is unbeatable. Uh, Leffe Blonde. Um, it's one of my most common go-tos every month. And it yeah, and when I was in Belgium this winter was in I didn't get to go to the brewery, but I went to the region where it was like uh on they had a couple of their brews on tap at a local restaurant, and it was even better. I didn't have the blonde. I had a blonde, and I forget what else I had there, but it was they're just light and refreshing and delicious, you know. Um, I love them. That's if there was only one style of beer that I had to live with, that would probably be it.
Nice.
The Belgian blonde.
That's a that's a fun Ariel Brown fact right
Yeah.
there. And now you need electrolytes.
Yeah, new electrolytes. Yeah, I mean it's on the medium strong side. So yeah, a second one is not the best idea for me.
Yeah, I am
Anyway,
drinking some yerba mate. So 160 milligrams of caffeine. It'll give me
oh,
all the energy that I need to record and edit and upload a video for everyone. Because that's all a lot of work on the back end. Getting all this set up, shooting the video,
yeah.
editing.
I can't so here I see some minor differences, but yeah, he we moved. Jake moved the room where we're set up here, and so I
Yeah.
um,
It was in my office, but it was feeling really claustrophobic for me. Like
yeah.
I needed more open space in there. So I like this. I like this
Yeah,
bear.
yeah. You're back in the room we were before, just on the other end of the room now. So yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're here again.
Surrounded by Charlie's records,
That's right.
which have been invaluable to our PX8 development. Been listening to a
Yeah.
lot of really cool tunes from his collection. And I guess speaking of development, I mean, we'll catch up on some current event type air stuff, but we're really, really close to finishing off the A to D circuit board firmware
Yeah.
user interface and all
Yeah.
that.
The boards are done. They're ready to go and mostly tested. I'm trying to finalize the last few firmware details and making sure it all measures right and behaves correctly and no glitches in the user interface. That's what I've been slaving away the last weeks and or months. And I think it's literally just a few days away now. Yeah, I want to have that released and shipping by the end of next week.
I can't wait to
A couple
start.
days.
Yeah, I can't wait to do some of the final testing because I
Yeah.
had done some early testing before we made some revisions and changes to it, and it sounded great
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that early stage.
Yeah. Yeah. That version, I mean, I was hardly involved in that one, so I'm surprised it worked at all. Well, no, that's not fair. No, I mean, it definitely got to a working stage and got tested. As far as the user interface, I know there were some pretty big bugs in the user interface. Anyway,
Well, it's close. We'll do a whole other PX8 Part 2 episode when that is done, and we'll
yeah,
deep dive into that.
yeah. So maybe next Friday.
And man, so much time has
Hopefully next
passed.
Friday.
since our last episode. We like lost some really great people like Hulk Hogan and Ozzy
Roon,
Osbourne.
right.
I was a huge Ozzy fan growing up. Still am a huge Ozzy fan.
Yeah, yeah, that wasn't I didn't really know about him when I was growing up the same way. It was in a different music. You know, came around a bit and more, my 20s maybe. But
Yeah. No, I love all projects from Black Sabbath to his solo stuff and his different band variants that he's ever done. He's always had like some of the coolest guitar players too. I always, from Tony Iommi to Randy Rhoads, Jake E. Lee, Zach
yeah.
Wild. I mean, he's had just some of the coolest guitar players.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. There's one standout song for me that one of my all-time favorites is No More Tears. That one stands out for me.
Yeah, I that one's great and one that I kind of go to a lot in my memory banks is Perry Mason. That one is really good. Some
Yeah.
wild riffage from Zach Wild on there. I mean, you'd think Jake E. Lee was my favorite, but I think Zach Wild probably takes the cake for me from my favorite guitar player for him. I mean, they all had something unique and different that they really brought to the table, but yeah, I love Zach. So yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy. Um, And then, yeah, some of the other big stuff that I sent a big email blast out. If you're not part of our email list, you should let us know in the comments or just go to the website. I think you
You
can
can subscribe to our.
subscribe at the bottom of the page. There's a
Mhm.
little subscription field that you can sign up for, and then that'll kind of keep you up to date on some of the things that we're doing. But we just officially launched Qobuz Connect. So you can now use Qobuz natively on all of our current streaming technology.
Right. So the Net 2 option for QX5 and the X8 series products.
Yeah, the whole X8 series of products. So,
Yeah,
uh,
except for the VX8.
except for the VX8 and the PX8. Yeah. Um, yeah, so actually I have some fun little show and tell pieces for that, but this is an example of our circuit board for the X8 series here. You can kind of see it's actually two circuit boards kind of mated together there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the QX5 version, very similar. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So the two circuit boards. So one is our our board, and then the board that plugs into it is the OEM network solution uh, that we source.
Yeah, so the network circuits typically compared to like our USB circuits, there's a little more cost involved because again, there's
Yes.
there's actually two physical circuit boards and there's quite a bit more licensing costs and such involved with making sure that we're fully compatible with all the different platforms that people want to work with. Um, it's not free for us to turn Qobuz Connect on to our devices, but I think it's well worth it. We have liked Qobuz for many years now. We've had a really good
Mhm.
relationship with them. They seem to, I mean, as far as streaming services are concerned, in my impression on them is that they are probably the most involved with our lifestyle, with hi-fi in
Yeah.
general. They seem to really put the most time and energy and effort into like really proliferating what we all love and are here for with regards to hi-fi. Um, they treat their musicians rather well. I think officially Qobuz now is the highest paying streaming service per stream to musicians.
Excellent.
So that alone should be a really good reason for people to consider Qobuz. Um, Title Connect is also enabled in all of our devices. That was something we did, I think, what, last year? I think it was.
Last year could have been the year prior, could have been 2 years. No.
Yeah, we've had Title Connect enabled for quite some time, and there's some there's some user interface differences between those two platforms. There's subtle sound quality differences at that rate. I usually just tell people download the free trial maybe and just A/B some of your favorite songs and see what sounds best to you, or look through the catalog to see if there's something that you can find on one and maybe not the other. Um, I think my favorite feature on Title Connect is that you can actually see the lyrics to a song, kind of like
That's
karaoke style.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. That was one of my favorite things to do as a teenager. Probably many of us, yeah, was be reading the lyrics along with listening to music, especially the first time around.
Oh,
That was
I thought you were gonna say karaoke.
no, no, that is not one of my favorite things.
Well, we need to change that. I usually go and do
No,
hard rock, heavy metal karaoke every third Thursday. So I'm gonna have to drag this guy out to do some heavy metal karaoke with me.
good luck.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna let me, but um, yeah. So Qobuz Connect is a new thing for us. Tidal Connect has been around for a bit. We've been able to do Spotify Connect
Yeah, we've done Spotify Connect
for
for
a
a long
while.
time. Yeah, almost from the start.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I there's some with the exception of some podcast type of things on Spotify Connect. I think if you're trying to listen to music, Tidal or Qobuz takes the cake for me. Um, but
yeah,
I know there's some appeal to having Spotify. My teenager, even though we have Tidal and Qobuz, still prefers Spotify for whatever
yep,
reason. Um, I don't know. We got to do some ear training or something. And so aside from those apps being natively supported, um, you know, we are Roon certified with a couple devices. We still need to make some progress on a few others, but our QX520 and our EX8 2.0 is fully Roon certified. Now, um, there's a lot of steps involved with that. Um, a lot of steps involved, and I know there's still a good handful of people consistently reaching out asking about Roon certification on other products like our QX8 and
yeah,
CX8, and I think that there's enough value for us to continue doing that. But
absolutely. Yeah,
if ever there were flaming hoops to jump through, that is one of them. Um, but yeah, I mean, Roon is handy. I mean, I guess one of the big advantages of having Roon would be if you have local files stored
yeah,
somewhere that you want to play.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, which is a kind of a big deal. I mean, I think that, um, you know, as far as potentially ultimate quality and reliability, yeah, it is really hard to beat a locally stored file. Any of these other Qobuz Title Connect or Spotify, you are relying on an internet connection, um, and everything that comes with that. So, um, but and I mean, today that's that's a pretty small barrier now,
Yeah.
and they've done remarkably well, even handling um, um, intermittent to poor connections. They've done, Qobuz has done remarkable work, still getting you fantastic bit rates to be able to stream hi-fi.
Yeah. I mean, other than Roon, there's like a free app that we have been recommending for years with our hardware, M Connect,
Right.
which is a universal plug and play UPnP style of application, and it's kind of your merger between streaming and local files, and you can also sign into like cloud-based
Yep.
accounts to play files from.
Yeah, from Dropbox or from local files or or even connect to some of those streaming services.
So
Deezer and yeah, Deezer,
I think,
VTuner.
yeah, Deezer and VTuner Internet Radio,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
um, I've never used Deezer before. I
No,
can't
neither have I.
can't really speak to the quality or the user interface for that. And I've only had a couple of people globally in the last few years ask about an internet radio functionality, so it doesn't seem like a very
Yeah, yeah. There was a span where we were getting some interest for it, but it seems to have waned a bit. Um, yeah, it was like, it was very localized too. There was like one or two countries that were very interested in it for a certain period of time, and that seems to have passed a bit.
yeah.
Anyway,
And then one last one that is worth mentioning is a new certification that we've gotten for all of our hardware, but it's JPlay, Polish
right.
company, and it's kind of like the happy medium between Roon and M Connect. It's kind of like the perfect bridge between Roon and like your general kind of UPnP. The user interface seems to be a little bit nicer than your standard free UPnP type of app, and I've had a lot of people without fishing for these kind of comments. I've had people report back that the sound quality through JPlay is exceptional. Um, I had one of our distributors mention that to him, the difference was like a moving magnet coil with listening to Roon versus a moving coil or moving magnet cartridge, I'm sorry, with Roon versus a moving coil
Hmm.
with JPlay. That was kind of
Interesting.
the way that his ears were picking that difference up. Um, so it's quite interesting that there's even a difference at all.
Yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, if the actual file is bit identical between sources, then it's it's then hard to kind of suss out why they would sound different. And so we certainly suspect that maybe they're not the difference, especially with our hardware, you know, um, because we are, very much like our asynchronous USB, even with our Ethernet input, we are again, kind of the master clocking. And so there is buffering that happens in this network, um, in the network card, and it clocks out at our master clock. We don't have to sync to it. We don't have to buffer it locally. It's all buffered there, and so we send it the clock, and it syncs to us. And so again, the master clock itself is sitting right next to our DAC converter chip, exactly where it needs to be. And so, you know, um, yeah, as long as that file coming in is identical, uh, I I can't quite fathom how they would sound differently. So I really suspect there's differences upstream.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
again, like because we're sharing the same network, we're sharing the same cable, everything's should again be equal there.
right. And you don't think
Yeah.
that the just kind of the core programming of these apps can manipulate or change, maybe not on purpose, but maybe as a byproduct of the app itself, it has a
Yeah,
an
that's
effect.
I haven't no, I haven't had time to kind of dive in and investigate that. Most of those apps are mostly control apps, and so they are mostly just telling a file to be sent from over here to the renderer, which is our board here. And so most of the data typically does not pass through that app. Um, there are cases where if like on your phone or your tablet, and the file is stored on that tablet, but again, the control app is just telling that file to be passed. So it doesn't most of the data doesn't isn't really manipulated or dealt with by the app itself. It's just directing file transfers. So um, that they shouldn't be able to corrupt that file.
Yeah, have any impact. But
But so, the handling of that file can, depending on the quality of the network, depending on the quality of your internet connection, there's things, can, as well as, you know, um, now a file, is not streamed, like an SPDIF transmission where there is a continuous clock data signal. And we're talking about a file like this. It might transfer the entire music file to this in just a matter of seconds. And even if it's a 3 or 4 minute song, it is buffered here very, very quickly and then it's played off of it,
hmm,
um, which I think is a very good thing. So yeah, so the noise, the only other difference is going to be noise sources that can, affect some, you know, noising the system on the power supply. So,
right.
so the actual quality of the network in your house or your building, the what else was I forgot the second one I was thinking of. Um,
Well, in our if you're not using our streaming technology, then it would be the power supply and the streamer itself too.
right.
Um, yeah, so I mean on that note too, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk a little bit more about why we stream and do what we do with our hardware. I mean, I've had plenty of people over the last couple of years ask me like, well, won't I get better quality if I have an outboard streamer? And citing various competitors that have these dedicated streaming boxes. And we've been streaming for quite a while now like this by having circuit boards that integrate into the main DAC board. So,
Right.
um, I
Yeah.
guess from your perspective, what are some advantages to doing it this way?
Well, yeah. So to clarify, because what I way I understand, in the industry, kind of having a streamer box is going to be a network in and then some other digital audio out. Um, so either SPDIF out or
So
pretty much SPDIF out.
like a network bridge or transport.
Neuroburst, yeah. Either that or an analog out that well, no, I mean, well, what are you asking specifically? I mean, is it more of a bridge product that we're talking about, or is it?
It's
Yeah,
both. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
just having a standalone streamer device, whether it is a bridge
yeah.
or it has an analog
Analog out.
out
Yeah,
with a DAC built in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, y- you know, yeah. For us, having where our strength is definitely our analog and our DAC section, so pretty much everything. Um, yeah, I don't see any advantage to having any kind of external streamer, and it's definitely better to have it inside our box. Trying to convert to SPDIF or something is, I think that's, to put simply, very silly. The SPDIF standard is not the best way to transport digital audio when we have to then recover the clock again. We've dealt with that well, with our later stacks where we have asynchronous USB where we then buffer and then we reclock it out at our own clock rate, which works very well. But it's not as good as, again, buffering buffering the file straight in over Ethernet and then clocking it straight out to our DAC. It's the shortest path, simplest solution, um, the fewest possible steps to screw it up.
Yeah. And like you touched on, the power supply and the noise from the power
Yeah.
supply is one big element of it. When you add a cable in between the streamer device and either your preamp or if it is a network bridge or transport and you've got a digital connection going to the DAC, that's an antenna for
Yep.
noise.
Antenna, bit more noise. Yeah.
And then with regards to the way that we utilize our streaming circuit network boards here, like in the case of the 8 series, our X8 series, it is Just basically a direct injection connection right to the DAC board. I mean, it literally snaps onto the main DAC board. There's no
Yep.
wire. It is a board to board connection. The chassis provides some shielding
Yep. A
as
bit of
well.
shielding. Um, yeah, um, uh, the Ethernet connection itself is transformer coupled, so it's essentially galvanically isolated. Um, so there's no ground connections, there's no direct connections. So it does isolate um, um, most of any potentially picked up noise.
Yeah. And so these are our second generation network designs too. So they're both classified for both series, the 5 series and the 8 series. They're classified as our Net 2
Yep.
circuit boards.
Yep.
So we picked up some new tricks over the years and improved these. Um, and voltage regulation was one of those things.
Voltage regulation was a big part of that. Voltage regulation, some better handling of kind of signal impedance, kind of transfer between this board and the DAC board. Um, as far as yeah, so more careful um, signal integrity assurances. Yeah, a lot of power supply stuff. The board stack up it hasn't really changed. The big difference is then it's all based around kind of the second generation of the network solution itself provided to us, and so um, they had a lot more processing power, a lot more memory, capable of doing higher sample rates, capable of doing raw DSD, features like that. Um, that's those are the big things.
Yeah. And so with these two boards as well from the 8 and the 5 series, another thing that I like to really point out is that, the first of the two, the first to get the special new updates was for the QX520. And subsequently, we ended up trickling down more or less to the X8 series, the same Ethernet renderer board. So everything in our 8 series is utilizing that same Ethernet renderer board as our flagship DAC or digital hub, I should say,
Right.
the QX520, which helps with compatibility across the board. It makes it a lot easier for us to ensure that all of our users are able to kind of share in on all these new platforms and things that we're investing in and bringing to you. So, um, is there any notable differences between the actual boards themselves that's worth sharing here between are there big circuit design differences or materials differences or
Uh, no, I mean the materials. Let's see. The QX5 board is a slightly higher quality board material. Stack up's virtually the same. We use much fancier voltage regulation on the QX5. We scale it down a bit in the X8. It always has to be these differences. They decided not to support the DSD raw transmission um, in the X8. I still argue that at that point in the circuit, it doesn't matter. DOP is the bits are bits, and it's buffered, and so it doesn't matter. Um, yeah,
and you just made
there's
me think I can't wait for that PX8 Part 2 A to D special because we're gonna drop some controversial stuff on you guys. Looking forward to that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Got to channel my inner Charlie for that one.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I mean the streaming aspect has been pretty important for our approach in the last several years. I mean, we build a CD player, we build a phono preamp. We like physical media, but streaming is it's just so fun. It's so convenient. I like the ability to discover new
Yeah.
music. I mean, excuse me. I mean, my office is right next door to this guy, and he's bumping some of the coolest music ever all the time, and I'm discovering new music all the time just because of him streaming. So
Yeah.
it's been pretty fun. I'm able to just walk next door and be like, "Who are you listening to?" And
Yeah, I often don't know because I'm discovering new stuff too, just on the internet radio essentially. So I have to look it up on this. I have to change monitors and go look who it is. So
yeah,
anyway,
I think
it
like
is fun.
some of the ones that I've picked up from you recently that has been pretty awesome is that guy Danny Brown.
Okay.
I have like Danny Brown, and then there's this band Turnstile that has really captivated my attention. Turnstile. They have a fairly recent album that came out, I want to say June,
Hmm.
and
I
you,
don't remember which one that was, but
you'll
I'll
recognize it.
go.
You'll recognize it. I'm going to search it on Qobuz real quick just so I can give a recommendation for people to listen to these guys. But um, funny enough, well, actually, the album is called Never Enough, but um, Michael Fremer just posted this about this album the other
Really?
day. Yeah, he's really digging this album, and I just thought that was pretty cool because I mean, I since I heard I think it was Light Design was the song that
Hmm.
came on.
The title sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the song that came on, and it um, kind of turned me into a fan. And I've just been listening to this album a lot lately. But yeah, Michael Fremer had a lot of positive things to say about this band. So check out Turnstile. Never
Yeah.
enough. And thanks to streaming for that. So um, yeah, I just thought it would be fun to kind of catch everyone up on some of the cool new stuff like Qobuz Connect and talk a little bit about streaming and show off our streaming technology and talk about that approach. Do you have any other nuggets of wisdom that we should take away from
Boy,
what
I
we're
didn't
doing
prep for
here?
this, so I can't think of anything else on the top of my head. No.
I like to improvise.
Yeah, we
I
jump in and I don't know what we're going to talk about. So,
yeah, I
yeah. My memory's not quite what it used to be. I've officially old now. Yeah.
yeah, we had birthdays
Yeah.
recently. Yeah, our birthdays are 2 days apart. So I'm July 17.
Yeah.
He's July 19.
Just several years apart. So
Yeah. I turned 39 this year. How?
I'm not going to say.
No.
So the one I'm trying to ignore.
Well, if you want to guess, drop your guesses in the comments below and we'll
See all this gray.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to the point where I can like count the wrinkles around my eyes like the rings of a tree and you can
Yeah.
kind of determine how old I am, but it's wisdom. It's
Yeah.
wisdom. Um, but I think we have plenty of years left in us for air and
I sure hope so.
innovating and
Yeah.
developing and bringing some cool new stuff to the world. I think it's going to be a big year ahead now that we're kind of at the tail end of this PX8. I think we're set up for a couple other really cool products.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
Um, maybe I'll drop a, maybe, I mean, yeah, you can strangle me after we're done, but maybe I'll drop a quick hint that the next product that we release will be Qobuz Connect enabled and
Yes.
Tidal Connect enabled and all that good stuff. Everything we talked about, the next product will support. So we'll talk about that as we get closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully very soon.
I think
I don't know.
yeah,
Not soon enough, but yeah.
not soon enough, but maybe sooner than people would expect from us right now, I guess. So I don't know. It's further along than you'd think. All right. Well, I think that's all I've got about streaming today. So we're gonna call it for today. But thank you for tuning in. Give us a like and a subscribe. Let us know if there's another beer that Ariel should
Yeah.
try,
Yeah.
or if you've got some delicious non-alcoholic beverage that I should try. Let me know, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.